Hello everybody, welcome to podcast episode number 10 and YouTube episode number 1. I'm incorporating my podcast into a YouTube video also, so see how that goes. So thank you for being here. The subject today is comparison. Now, I did get asked by a lovely lady, I'm not sure whether to mention her name or not, so I won't just in case, but she suggested that I do this as a podcast episode, so I thought it was a great idea. So thank you for your recommendation, you know who you are, and here I am talking about this. So comparison is the thief of joy, and that couldn't be further from the truth. So we have access now 24/7 to so many social media platforms. I don't even know what some of them are called, I don't think. I just stick to Facebook and Instagram for myself and my business, but there's loads more you can use out there. And the problem is, we compare our behind the scenes life to everyone else's highlight reel. And it's just not realistic. And when we start comparing ourselves, we have a overwhelming feeling of not feeling good enough. We don't value our lives. We don't focus on the good that we have in our lives. We just focus on the lack of what we haven't got when we look at other people's lives. I mean, this could be whether you're looking at social media, or some people might have a trigger if they go to the gym and you see all these people with really tight clothes on or hardly any clothes on, if I'm being honest. I think I used to be one of those people. Sorry about that, not anymore. And that can start you obsessing over your body and comparing it and saying, oh, well, her bum is bigger than mine and her waist is smaller than mine, or whatever. But that is not good for our self-esteem, as you probably know. So I'm guessing if you're listening or watching this video because you're interested about comparison, or you do compare yourself and you want to know how to stop. So let me go and talk about Facebook and Instagram. I'll use those as examples because that's what I use. So you're looking on Facebook, and then why is it that all of a sudden all of your friends have like met the man of their dreams? They've got a perfect family. They've just nailed this awesome job. Or then if you're looking on Instagram and you find yourself in the black hole of the search page, you know when you go to search someone who you generally wanted to look for, like a friend or whatever, and then you come to this big page with like all these images staring at you. It's crazy. You're looking at these influencers who are traveling the world and that's all they do. That's a bit of a bitchy comment. I didn't mean that's all they do. But they have this perfect body, but then through their posts of what they're eating, they seem to also eat whatever they want to eat and not put any weight on or anything like that. So it can make you feel jealous and envious of other people's lives. But the reality is, for example, if someone's posting a perfect newborn baby or a holiday in the Bahamas, which is great, but I bet you they don't post pictures and videos of them getting up at like 2 a.m. to feed the baby, like don't even know what day it is or what your name is anymore. Or if they lost all their luggage, well, some people might actually, if they lost all their luggage on this amazing holiday, you're not going to see the downside. So that's what I'm trying to get through at this point. And another thing, which we all know, and probably you knew I was going to talk about this, there is filters and Photoshop, and I don't even know what some of them are called. There's things where you can like make your nose smaller and your cheeks smaller or something else bigger. And I'm not going to lie, I have been tempted to use these in the past, or at least to try to use them. And someone I know used to use these things all the time, and it didn't even look like this person in real life. So she'd put these pictures on and Photoshop them all. She's beautiful anyway, by the way, and then it didn't look nothing like her. So that makes me sad, because that's showing to the world that she doesn't think she's good enough and she needs to change the way she looks before she puts it out into the world of social media, which is what so many people do, which is why one of the reasons I'm stood recording this. If you listen to the podcast, you won't really know, but on a YouTube video, I'm actually recording this with no makeup on. Not that that's wow, you've got no makeup on, well done you. Just I didn't have any on, and I was going to record this video, so I thought, oh well, you know, I'll get my makeup on and everything, and I thought no, because the topic I'm talking about is quite relevant to just be as I am, because I'm good enough the way I am, and so is everybody else. You watching this, by the way, you're good enough exactly the way you are. So yeah, I've gone off topic a little bit, but it's sad that people have to think they have to change themselves to put it out there on social media. I'm looking at my paper because I have a scientific research I want to read out. The thing is, all this comparison on social media is having a big impact on our mental health. So excuse me while I read, but a recent study in the Cyber Psychology, Behaviour and Social Networking Journal found that Facebook use can be associated with lower self-esteem, poorer mental health and greater body shame. And those who have left Facebook, research shows that they immediately felt a confidence boost and better life experience and positive emotions just from not going onto Facebook. Similarly, a few years ago, researchers from Lancaster University examined studies from 14 countries with 35,000 participants over the age of 15 to determine the link between social media and depression. And they found that frequent Facebook and social media users often compare themselves with others, leading to overthinking, rumination, which manifests to feelings of depression. So that's no surprise, really. I mean, when I was growing up, we did have mobiles, I'm not that old, but we didn't have social media or anything, we didn't even have WhatsApp. So I feel maybe not sorry for, but yeah, I feel sorry for the people who are growing up these days because of all the pressure they have. And when you're an adult, it's easier to look at all of this from a more wise stance. But when you're a child and a teenager and you've got all your friends posting selfies and filtering and doing all whatever they do, it must be so hard to be in that kind of world right now. Let's put that there. So how can we reduce our social media usage is the question, or how can we reduce comparison, which is the most important question. Sorry, my phone actually just fell off. Number one, know your triggers. So like I said, for some people it can be a physical situation, going to the gym, or it could be an actual person that triggers you, like you can't stand this person, or they really annoy you, or they just set something off in you where you just don't feel good enough. If it's social media, all these people, all these situations, then you can do something about it. Like my social media feed is full of inspirational women, so you can unfollow people that don't make you feel good. I recommend this to all my clients as well. If you're scrolling through social media and you see something that makes you feel, you have that gut-wrenching feeling where you're just like, God, like I'm really not good enough, or I wish I looked like her, or I wish I could do that, unfollow them. Some people say, oh, but it motivates me seeing all these fit chicks with abs and all this, because it motivates me to do more. No, it's bullshit. It will make you feel like shit. Because that's what myself and my clients have also experienced, and it may motivate you if you're in a positive mindset for like a few days, but it's all going into your subconscious mind that you don't feel good enough. So that's a massive thing. So know your triggers and do something about it. If you go into a gym and the gym's just full of all these people who make you feel shit about yourself, then go and find a different gym or try something new, or you know, you can deal, and you're in control of your triggers, so do something about it. Number two, you can reduce your time on social media. This is a biggie because we're so automatic to just go to our phones, and if you're standing in line or in a queue, for example, somewhere, and you're like, instead of like looking around and experiencing where you are, you just get your phone out. When you're eating dinner, don't have your phone, like experience what you're experiencing, but don't spend so much time on social media. Well, it's up to you, obviously, but you shouldn't really be spending more than 20 minutes, half an hour for the whole day on social media, because unless you're following really inspirational people that make you feel good, but even then you're looking at someone else's life and not yours. So you can get apps that tell you how long you've been on the social media apps, or you can set timers on your phone even, or just put it on. Say if you're working on a computer all day, don't go on it on the computer, only have it on your phone or whatever. My friend said the other day she's actually moved it from her front screen, and already that's had a massive difference. So she's still got it on her phone, but she has to swipe like 4 times to get it, so that stops her just automatically going on it. So like, give yourself little blockers to stop you automatically doing that, and then also give yourself the time, a little time block where you want to use social media and you're not automatically reaching for it the whole time. And this is an important one. Number 3 is try to find out why you're making the comparisons. So it is normal to compare yourself to others because we're human beings and that's what we tend to do. And it's normal to compare your body to someone else's, for example. But if you're constantly doing that and you really get in a really uncomfortable feeling when you're doing that, and it really does make you feel bad, but you keep comparing yourself over and over again, that's speaking to you. And when I say that, what I mean is everything you see in somebody else is a reflection of yourself, which sounds a bit strange, but let me explain. If you're constantly comparing yourself to people with better bodies and going to the gym and all these fit chicks and everything, and it really sets this fire of self-hate or pain inside of you, that's because you're looking at this person's life or what this person's doing or what they look like, and you want it so desperately, but you're most likely not doing anything about it. So if you was to say, ask yourself, why is that making me feel so jealous? It could be the same with a house or a car or to do with money. Everyone's different with what you're going to compare yourself to, and it's going to spark a fire. So if you're comparing yourself to the whole body thing, and you really ask yourself, why does this matter to me so much? It will most likely be because you know you are capable of doing what that person is doing in your own way, but you may not be doing it. So then it ignites this comparison monster inside you, because you're not doing anything to help yourself get towards those goals. So if you were, for example, going to the gym, because this if you wanted to do this, by the way, if you were eating healthy and going to the gym and doing your little steps that you could do every day to get to your goal, that it will be most likely that you won't compare with such a strong feeling of jealousy than you do now if you're doing nothing about it, if that makes sense. Because I used to feel so much anger, frustration and hate towards myself when I saw all these fit chick girls, and like, why can't I look like that? But it's because I knew that I wasn't doing anything about it, and I wasn't doing my best to get to my ideal goal. Whereas if I saw things like nice cars or big houses or loads of money, because it doesn't really mean a lot to me, it's nice to have money, it's nice to have a nice car, it didn't really affect me as much, if that makes sense. So number 4, get yourself quiet. If you're scrolling through social media and you're feeling all these feelings of guilt and shame, first of all, number 1, like I said, is unfollow them. Then you haven't even got to see them, so that's an easy thing. But then go and meditate. I know some people are like, meditation, that's a bit strange, and when I first started meditating, that's exactly what I thought, but it makes such a big difference. There's loads of meditations you can get for free on YouTube, or Google, just type it in, and just sit and quiet your feelings, let yourself feel your feelings, and then just quiet your mind, and then or go on a walk, or just take yourself away from the situation of social media instead of keeping scrolling to try and find more people you're going to compare yourself to. And instead of comparing yourself, this is number 5, to other people, why don't you compare yourself to yourself? That's the only fair comparison you can make in this world, because let's face it, there's only one you. everyone else is taken, so be yourself. That's some kind of quote that was going around somewhere, but I love it. So be yourself, everyone else is taken. And that is so, so true. You are on this world for a reason, and that's not to try and be like somebody else. You can have mentors and people who inspire you, but only you can do you. So work on yourself and your personal growth. So are you in a better place than you were last year? Are you working towards the goals that you've had in your mind? Look at what you are doing. And if the answer is no to those questions, that you're not doing anything to better yourself, then that's okay as well. Don't beat yourself up. Have compassion for yourself always, 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 always. And then ask yourself that the magic word again. Why? Why have you not took steps towards your goal? Why haven't you done that? So get real with yourself. You know the answers already inside here. You just need to get quiet enough to hear them. So when you ask why, I like to ask why again 2 times to find the reason for anything in life, actually. So when you found your why, like why you haven't started striving towards your goals, that's when you can do something about it and make a plan or get help or whatever. And I'm not saying all social media is bad, by the way, because I love my social media feed. I have so many inspirational women that I follow. It's great. I love going on it. I do limit my time because otherwise you can get into the black hole of social media and then you check it for 5 minutes, then half an hour later you're still on there. But I love it because I follow so many women who inspire me. They inspire me to love myself more and to embrace who I am, because I follow people at health at every size. So it's not the government ideal or the society's ideal body. I follow loads of people, loads of strong, independent women, and that encourages me to do what I want to do without fear. A lot of us don't actually go after the things we want or love ourselves enough, which is a reason why we compare in the first place. So if you have all this self-love for yourself, you're not going to compare because you love yourself so much. You don't care about anyone else, but why would you compare yourself to anyone else? Because you're not them, you're you. So it does often, I've found, come down to a self-love issue. If you love yourself, you don't need to compare to other people. And if you don't let fear get in the way of things, like again, for example, I was a bit worried about doing this video because of my hair's just on top of my head and I have no makeup on, and sometimes I have to check my bullet points so I can continue talking in the way I want to. But do you know what? It's not about me. It's about the message I want to share with you guys. So I've just put fear on the back burner and then just moved forward to what I want to do with my life. So follow people who inspire you. Really, it is, you are in control. So be careful who you let on your feed, on your Facebook, your Instagram. If it's friends that you're worried about unfollowing on Facebook or whatever, just, you can mute them or something, can't you? You don't actually have to unfollow them, so just mute them, because you're almost more important than whether your friend's going to get annoyed. Because if she's obviously posting stuff that doesn't make you feel good about yourself anyway, then do you want to be a friend? Let's be honest. So yes, that's my take on comparison. And it does all come down to self-love, which is another topic altogether. But don't forget, we're comparing people's highlight reels to our backstage life. They're not real anyway, because if you walk down the street and bumped into this fitness model who you've been following and idolising for years, you probably wouldn't even recognise them. And I'm not saying this to be a bitch. I've seen fitness people before when I used to do a bit of photo shoots and things like that for my fitness stuff, when I was all obsessed with the way I looked. I've seen those people and they don't look like that in real life. So that may be bitchy, but it's true. So don't take what you see on social media as real. Take it with a pinch of salt. Follow who makes you inspired and makes you feel good about yourself. And go out into the world knowing that you're perfect exactly the way you are, because you are, by the way. You're here in this point in your life, looking like this, having this lifestyle for a reason. And the reason is to move forward, to learn from what you've not thoroughly enjoyed or enjoying right now in your life, but focus on what you're grateful for right now, and then think of all the positive things that will come if you reach your goals where you want to be. And then life will bring you great things if you do that, and happiness, which everyone's lifelong goal is to be happy, right? So work on that. If you need me, I'm here for you, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.